Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm, LLC, offers more value than any other good full-service real estate brokerage firm when it comes to the sale of your home. We offer at least 27 things that contribute to your home selling in the least amount of time at the highest price. To receive our free home selling pamphlet, email us at info@brooksanddavis.com or call 713-665-8329. We also assist people who want to purchase homes or who are interested in getting their real estate license. Visit us at www.brooksanddavis.com.
Are you an inspiring entrepreneur? Or maybe you're an entrepreneur looking to take your business to the next level. My name is LarryWBrooks, and I am the author of Empowering Quotes for the Entrepreneur in You and The Entrepreneur Code. In these two books, I guarantee you there's success secrets that will take your business to the next level. I personally invite you to visit LarryWBrooks.com. Go under the books link and purchase your signed personal copy from myself. You have a great day and have an awesome 2020.
Happy Thursday. Welcome to the Prime Real Estate Network podcast. I'm your host, Rick Davis. I follow you. I urge you to follow me on social media at Prime Real Estate Rick. You can follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Prime Real Estate Rick and Prime Real Estate Network. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in residential or commercial real estate, please visit the Brooks & Davis Facebook page. If you are an aspiring realtor, a real estate professional that's looking for a change, or you are currently studying towards your real estate license, please visit our website at brooksanddavis.com so you can learn everything about getting involved in this fast-growing industry. As always, my co-host is sitting here riding with me on episode 145, and we still alive and kicking. He is a Texas real estate broker, a multi-time author, serial entrepreneur, known in North America, South America, Africa, and Asia as the Texas Real Estate King. Blowing and glowing in a gold polo shirt. It's the Texas Real Estate King, Mr. Larry W. Brooks. What's happening, my brother?
Hey,
give me applause, man.
You know what I'm saying? I knew our guest was gonna come in here and had the colors on, so I need to make sure I had a little light on my day. Today too.
Hey man, we got to
bring the sunshine yellow in.
Man, look, when the energy in the studio is at an all-time high, we both got to make sure we have our thing all the way dialed in, all the way dressed to the nines and ready for everything, man. Because
those of you that are on the podcast that have not tuned in and locked into the YouTube page, you want to do that because you need to see what we see. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, look, man, today's guest, and we do this every week, Mr. Brooks. We talk about the links that the Texas Real Estate King was willing to go through for our audience as far as finding the best and brightest and most influential and experienced professionals and entrepreneurs to have as guests on the podcast.
Yeah.
So could you share a little bit with our audience about what you had to go through to secure this week's guest?
I want to hear this.
Here's the thing, though. No, the funny thing is this is one of my oldest professional friends that I've like years.
Spill the tea.
Man, I'm telling you, like I might have fact a image popped up a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, whenever it is that the Black Expo typically takes place.
Yeah.
An image popped up of that weekend, which is because I think when we first was introduced, you were working with another company, and it was at the Black Expo.
Dang, so you got a better memory than me.
Man, it had to be like.
This is a long time ago.
Yeah, oh man, like 10 to 15.
Yeah.
So, but this is the question, though. See, the amount of history from a professional standpoint, from a networking standpoint that you and our guest this week have is one thing. But she has been so busy because of the explosion of her personal brand and platform. And it's amazing that we were able to get her scheduled on a Thursday, considering
she always
Thursday
been fly, though. She always been fly.
No, Thursday is everybody's travel day.
No doubt.
So this could be a getaway day. I don't know if she got a flight at 5 o'clock. So look, man, without any further ado, Larry, let's introduce this week's guest.
No doubt about it.
It is both Larry and I's pleasure to introduce this week's guest. She is not only a noted television producer, philanthropist, but she is also the star of season 4 of On Network's hit series Ready to Love, holding it down with us on a Thursday when she could be anywhere on earth. I want to thank our guest this week, Miss Alexis, Fly Jones. How you doing?
What's going on, Rick and Larry? Oh my gosh, it's like the best introduction. Y'all are so sweet. I'm thinking, he introducing you. I'm like the Texas real estate king. Nah, I think you more like global, baby. You worldwide.
Appreciate that. That's what I'm talking about. So that's how family talk to you, man. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody, if you're trying to find a house, these are the men right here. Any type of property.
No, but Miss Alexis, though, the reason I was so excited about you sitting in with us is because I've watched several of your interviews. Of course, I've watched you on Ready to Love. I've had the opportunity to do my research as far as your professional background. And I just was so excited because I was hoping that with you and Larry's background, I could ask you some questions that other people hadn't asked you publicly. And this is one of the first things is because with your background as a television producer, for years you've worked behind the camera. And you've had intimate professional relationships with the on-air talent. And I'm sure you've heard some of their insecurities, some of their complaints, some of the things that they go through. Now becoming an on-air talent and being one of those faces in the entertainment sphere. What could you share with our audience that you've gleaned as far as experience that you didn't necessarily appreciate when you were behind the camera?
Ooh, child, I did. Let me tell you something. Being behind the camera is one thing for sure, but being then transferring to the front of the camera is a completely different thing. I think a lot of people thought that because I was a producer going into this show, Ready to Love, that I already knew what to do, what to say, that I kind of was ahead of the game, as to say, but really I wasn't. And for one reason being that I worked in news, and I worked on a lifestyle show, a talk show. Wow. So whatever I produced was factual information. It was, things that were happening in the community, things that were happening in the news, completely different from reality TV. I really went in as just a regular person who, yes, happens to be a producer in news, but I didn't know what I was getting myself into or what was going to go down. Let me say that. But I'll tell you this to answer your question in terms of having an appreciation from working with other personalities, anchors, things like that. Right. I have a lot of empathy now, having been in front of the camera.
Come on.
There are a lot of things that personalities go through, quietly, secretly, that you will never know. One of the things that they went through that I also have now experienced is what I don't really like to highlight, but I'm going to be real transparent today. It's called the trolls, the haters, with success, it breeds contempt, and you're thinking you're going on and people are going to love you because you're just going to be yourself and tell your truth. And the next thing you know, you receive all types of judgment, from your hair to how you dress. Oh, she ain't as fly as she talking about. Her brand ain't fly. All that kind of stuff. There's a lot of, along with the good stuff that comes with it, there's a lot of negativity that I knew would come, but I don't think I was mentally prepared for it. And it reminded me of some of the things that have been shared with me, with me working with talent that, that they would secretly have some issues with. So, for instance, if the talent was, dealing with, opinions from, I wouldn't call them fans because fans don't necessarily hate on you like that.
But the audience.
The audience, they would always say, I don't look at that stuff. I don't look at the comments. I don't da-da-da-da. And I would just be like, why? Why do you care about what these people think? It doesn't matter. Like, you're in your position, man. You're the one on TV. But people don't realize that people are people. And we have feelings, too.
Humans,
and so let me tell you, with now being on the other side, yes, I was on 11 out of 12 episodes, too. Shout out to Will Packer Productions because they on right now watching. I appreciate you.
Appreciate y'all, no doubt.
I appreciate y'all. Let's be on network. I appreciate you. A lot of people, a lot of the fans, be like, dang, we always seeing Alexis. Alexis on every episode. She on every promo. She on every commercial. And I think just from a producer standpoint, I think it was because the feistiness that I had, a little firecracker that I have, and this energy that I bring, they knew that would probably, carry the interest of the show a little bit. They knew they could get a little drama, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm very fiery, I'm small, but I'm mighty. I say what I say. I'm very outspoken. I'm not afraid to speak. And so, they kind of utilize that, to keep the interest of the people. But I definitely empathize with, the heartache of, if I were to be quite honest, I was used to being the person that went into a room because I'm a social butterfly, and I was liked, as to say.
Oh, wow.
And so to go onto a platform where, yes, some people like you and some people don't, I had to get used to that part of it. And, it was a little like, dang, because rolling out, their statement was, reality star Alexis Jones, the most talked about, controversial.
Wow. So you've been branded as controversial.
Yeah, a little controversial, but mostly, outspoken and the most talked about. Like, I had a lot of people talking on the internet for whatever reason. I don't know.
And one of the things that I would like to publicly commend you on is your preparedness.
Oh, yeah.
As far as fame was concerned. While I was doing my due diligence and researching your professional background and your brand, and I mentioned this to you off air, one of the things I was most impressed with was how, as your platform has grown,
yes, sir,
from a business perspective, you were prepared for that growth.
Yeah.
So I think that's some of the one parts of reality show fame that is underreported.
Mm-hmm.
So could you share with our audience the importance of being prepared from that standpoint, and what you've observed from some of those faces and stars that weren't necessarily as prepared when their time in the light came around?
Right. Well, here's the thing. I think it's just the way that my mind works. I knew that obviously I was getting ready to go on the show. It's the OWN network. It's Oprah. It's this, that, and the other. And if I wasn't going to come out with love, I better come out with something. You know why? Because I've given permission for these people to have my reputation, my character, and do whatever the heck they want to do with it. I didn't have any creative control or any say-so. So I knew that coming in that it was a risk. Like, they could take a storyline and create whatever character that they wanted. So what was I going to get out of it? Being a person that comes from a PR background, who has done marketing, who has done branding, it was like I knew that in advance of it, I need to be prepared for whatever was going to happen next, whether that was I come out with a whole husband, or they ain't happening, thank you Jesus, anyway, or what am I going to to get out of the fact that I've given myself to everybody globally, you know what I'm saying? And so I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know what the storyline was going to be. I didn't know what the end was going to be. But I prepared in terms of, making sure that I was going to have, people on deck for photography, I had people on deck for my hair, for my makeup, all these kind of things, because the show did not provide that in terms, just so y'all know. So shout out to the people who like.
Wait. See, you can't just slide that in, because now we're going to give props and credit where props and credit is due.
Yeah.
So what are you telling me, Miss Alexis, is that your wardrobe on the show was out of your personal closet?
Yes, it was.
You stay flying.
Yeah.
That's what's happening.
So let me give a shout out to the Black business. It was half Vanity Closet, which is a local boutique here off of Westheimer.
Show love. That's what's up.
Yes, who helped sponsor my clothing for the show, as well as what was in my closet, because the show, they told us straight up, like, we're not going to provide that. So we had to come ready. Literally, the instructions was come hair, makeup, wardrobe ready to every time you showed up to tape.
Right. And and the thing
so
about
that's part
that,
about being prepared. I had to be prepared every single day that we're getting ready to shoot 12, 15 hours a day.
What makes it so impressive that you were willing to share that behind the scenes tidbit is because bad news travel fast, especially online.
Oh, absolutely.
When someone online sees you wear something on TV that they don't think is cool enough, they'll say something. But all those times where you ladies are super duper dressed to the nines at the top of your game from a fashion standpoint, they give no props for that.
Oh, no props. They quiet.
Or they charge it to stylists.
Yes, they do. Man, you hit the nail on the head.
Or they charge it to stylists. So when it's bad, it's you. But when it's good, it's somebody else.
Man, you got it so right. I mean, and that was it. We talk about the talk of the town, because I had this brand of Alexis Fly and it has to do with fashion. That was one of the things that the show wanted to highlight. Shout out to the Houston Chronicle. They actually named me. I did not name me, but in December 2020, before I went on the show, they named me as one of the top most stylish Houstonians, here in the city. So the show wanted to kind of push that and everything, and so every week it was like, we want to watch and see what Alexis Fly is gonna have on. And you had some people that liked what I said, would DM me and say, hey, where can I get that from? And then you have some people like, what the heck she got on? Let me tell you, I had like an all denim joint, and I wore a lot of boots. And say, people understand this is Texas, baby. We like, high thigh boots, baby. That's what we do down here, and we wear denim on denim. Some people that may be from up north and stuff, they like, why does she have that on? And do they wear a lot of denim in Texas? Yes, we do. We ride horses. They're not necessarily in our backyard, but we do all of that. So we wear denim down here. So you would get your different opinions from around the world.
And I got one final question in this segment for you, and this is just something, because I asked some of the ladies in my personal sphere some of the cool questions that I should ask you, because I'm sure you're aware of the reach of the show.
Oh, yeah.
But one of the things that I had to ask you, because all the women in my social circle and
Yes.
sphere wanted me to ask you this. Could you give us a cool story of upliftment from a viewer that may be somewhere overseas, abroad, that
Yeah.
you probably had no idea was seeing you on a regular basis?
Yeah.
That was more uplifting? Because I know we've talked about the trolls
Yes.
and the negative commenters, but
Yes.
I know for a fact that there's women of color watching that show all over the globe.
Yes.
And are inspired
Yes.
and empowered by
Yes.
the visuals that they see. So could you give our audience a little bit of a tidbit of just some positivity that you might have received online from some viewers overseas and abroad?
Absolutely. And thank you for asking me that. That's a beautiful question. I'll tell you.
That was a pretty
That's
beautiful
really
question.
good. I mean, really, I'm
Appreciate
like,
you,
you better
lad.
turn that on around. 'Cause we are not going to focus on the negative today. Let me tell you what the pivotal moment for me was. Because here's the thing: when we're watching this show, we're seeing it when you guys see it. So it's one thing for our journey. We know what our journey was walking through, but the edited
Yeah.
version is a little different from how we
Absolutely.
planned it. So I'll say this: during my elimination, I've had a lot of women DM me saying that I changed the trajectory of reality TV, specifically related to this show, because of the way that I exited. I said a lot of stuff when I exited, but during that time, there was a producer there, and she asked me a question during my exit, and she said, "Alexis, I know," she said, "hey, I don't have, I'm not married. I don't have children. Those are things I want." She said, "but I can relate to you because a lot of times I ignore the red flags when it comes to dating, and I just give a lot of myself, and I end up, getting the short end of the stick. I want you to look at that camera and talk to the women who have experienced a broken heart."
Woo!
Oh, wow.
And I just kind of sat there for a minute, and I was just praying in my head. And what a lot of people, some people know from the show, I was a first lady or whatever. But before being a first lady, I was in ministry. And I just felt the Holy Spirit come upon me. And I just began to remember that place of being in brokenness and having a broken heart. And I just began to, like I was talking to millions of women, I just imagined that. And then one of the statements that I made was for women to see themselves the way that God sees them, because that is what I needed to do during this show.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I felt like a part of me, because we were in competition and things like that, and we all wanted what we wanted, and our goal was to walk out here with somebody. Sometimes you ignore the red flags and I hate to say devalue yourself, but you just kind of like take what's given to you.
Yeah.
And I kind of made that move, and I had to be honest about my experience. And so I looked at the camera and just told people like, hey, like, this is what I have to work on, moving forward when it comes to love. When I made that statement, and I need to make a shirt, y'all. I got a shirt coming about it. See yourself as God sees you. Notes.
I love it.
I had so many women DM me.
Yeah.
And were telling me how they were crying. They had to replay that over and over to remind themselves of who they are in God, and to wait on their King and things like that. And I just began to cry, because I said, God, if this is the reason why you placed me on this show, if this is the only reason for this one line, then I've accomplished the very thing that I was sent here for.
And, I agree totally. And if you feel that way, I want you to know it was all worth it.
It was.
Because the inspiration that you provide for so many people who can see themselves in you, I think is something that you won't even tangibly realize for years and years and years and years and years.
Yes, sir.
And you have such a big heart. And I want to talk to you about your foundation that you just started, because I think that's something that our audience should learn everything about. So if you don't mind, when we come back from our break, could you talk to us about DearBLKSon
I
and
would
everything that's going on
love
there?
to.
I want to thank everyone for tuning into the Prime Real Estate Network podcast. We're going to take a short break to hear from our sponsors, but we'll be right back.
I'm serial entrepreneur Larry W. Brooks, and I'd like to personally invite you to take a closer look at the Pure Hustle clothing brand, along with several books that I've authored to take entrepreneurs, small business owners to the next level of their business. So please take a look at shoplwb.com. How do you survive?
Rent to own is not a myth. Turn your rental payment into a down payment with Divvy Homes and the Prime Real Estate Network. All you need to qualify is a 550 minimum FICO score and $40,000 in annual income. If you've worked your current job for at least the last 6 months and you can prove that you have $2,000 in the bank, your dream of home ownership can become a reality. Please direct message, call, or email the Prime Real Estate Network today and learn more about this exciting new program. Welcome back to the Prime Real Estate Network podcast. I'm your host, Rick Davis. If you don't follow me on Instagram, follow me at Prime Real Estate Rick. If you don't follow this show on Instagram, follow it at Prime Real Estate Network. As always, my co-host is the Texas Real Estate King, Mr. Larry W. Brooks. What's up, brother?
Man, listen, I'm in here entertained, side hurt a little bit from some of the stuff going on, but you know I'm always inspired when I'm around Alexis Fly.
Oh, that's so sweet. Come on, friend. 10 plus years backwards.
Come on now. Hey, Brooksy, man, I appreciate you for getting Miss Alexis to agree to sit in with us, man. I know sometimes, especially when you have those long-serving relationships, you don't necessarily want to push in the favor button all the time.
I'm gonna put the pressure on.
Put the press on.
Hey,
look, man. Shout out. Oh, I know you want to thank all of our people who support us on YouTube, Facebook, and Patreon.
No doubt about it. So for everyone out there, continue to support the channel. Again, follow us on YouTube, subscribe, look at some of the videos. Matter of fact, if you put in the comment section, if you know someone that's out there that's doing amazing things that are stepping up, kind of like I guess Miss Alexis Fly today, and you want to see them on a podcast, please reach out for us. We'd love to follow up with them on that. But our friends on Facebook, you know, we appreciate you. Make sure that you go to the YouTube page and catch the second half of the show. But as of today, as of this very moment, we'll see you guys later.
Thank you, Larry. I would like to introduce this week's guest. She is not only an astounding and renowned television producer, she's a philanthropist and also the star of season 4 of On Network's hit series Ready to Love. Holding it down with us this Thursday, I want to thank her again, Miss Alexis Jones. How you doing?
I'm doing good, Rick and Larry. Glad to be here.
No, because I want to thank you so much because you were so transparent.
Yeah.
In our first segment that I'm sure our audience have learned so many things about you professionally and personally that they may not have known before or taken into account. But what I've also been really impressed with are some of your philanthropic endeavors. Yes. And the foundation that you founded. Could you please talk to our audience about DearBLKSon, what motivated you and why you're so passionate about that endeavor?
Absolutely. I want to first say that, you know, community service is very important to me. Obviously, you know, I was blessed to become a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Shout out to
like that Crimson and Cream.
Is
that what it is?
Crimson and Cream. And so when it comes to giving back to the community, that's one thing I know that I was created for. Yeah. Getting to DearBLKSon and how that was formed, it started back sometime in 2020. You know, we've all been dealing in social unrest for a very long time, but specifically something about 2020, all of a sudden everybody was concerned about the black people, okay?
Yeah, right.
And so...
Preach.
Yeah, so I remember when Ahmaud Arbery was murdered. That's what triggered me to create DearBLKSon. I was actually on Instagram, and let me tell you, working in news, you know, you always hear about something happening in our community or we're losing our men and our boys, and a lot of times you are desensitized, you know, because you hear about it all the time. But when I was on Instagram, the video popped up, and then I was forced to look at it. Mm-hmm. And when I saw it, something in me completely broke, because at this point, I believe my son was 5 years old. He had just turned 5, and I immediately thought, oh my gosh, you know, what is the conversation I'm going to have with him in the next 10 years? You know, when he begins to drive and he gets pulled over by a police officer, or the first time that somebody calls him the N-word, because even 15 years later, somebody's going to say it, somebody somewhere. Like, how do I talk to him? And knowing that he was getting ready to transition into a new school where it was more diverse, he was no longer going to be going to an all-black school. Yeah. Like, you know, what is that going to look like? And so after I saw that video, I was like, God, what can I do? What talent that the gifts and the talents that you've given me, how can I use that to create a message for black men and for black boys? And so initially I was just going to get my licenses together. We were going to just go to the park and jog in Ahmaud Arbery's memory. He passed away February 23rd. So we were going to, you know, jog 2.23 miles. And that was going to be it. And then the Holy Ghost was like, oh, no, ma'am. It's going to be more than that. You're going to produce a short poetic film. This is what I want you. And he literally downloaded, y'all. It was coming so fast I had to grab a notepad and begin to write out the treatment. And I called up my line sisters. I said, I need to cash y'all in this because, you know, we need to throw up this diamond. The reason why we're throwing it up, because a lot of people don't know that the pyramid actually means change. So that's why you see it in this video. And I decided I want to put it in black and white because there's no gray areas. You either with us or you're not with us. What side of the team are you on?
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And so, and then I had my line sister. I told her to write a poem. I told her what I would want it to state. You know, basically hired her as to say as the writer. And I put this all together. And so if you go on YouTube or you go to DearBLKSon, DearBLKSon.org. You can watch the video. And BLK stands for Black Liberating Kings. And it started off as just a video. My first film that I executive produced on my own, cast it, put the funding behind it, all that. And now I'm working. I just got it trademarked after 6 months of going through that process. Yay!
Congratulations!
Dear Black Son, yes,
Yeah.
it's trademarked. It's officially mine. Y'all can't steal it. Hello, praise the Lord.
There it is.
Now I'm working on my 501c3 status. My hope, so I'm putting a call out, is that I would be able to get some people in the community to help teach young boys, young men about their African American heritage. I would love to come up with a curriculum that teaches young men, young boys about their history, because I feel like I didn't learn a lot about my African American history until I attended the HBCU. Because in Texas, in your little book, there's on a little corner about MLK, Famo, Rosa Parks. That's all you know.
And that's changing.
And that's changing.
And it's changing because of what's happening in our country and what's happening globally. And so looking forward to become a 501c3, a mentorship type of program for young men, because I have a son and I don't have no girls. Shout out to the girls. I'm gonna do something for the girls eventually, but I can only go with what I know and who I'm raising as a single mother.
And us as young men, we need it. They need it. Like that was a key. The things that my grandmother was able to derive herself was key to who we are today. Right?
Absolutely.
So,
yeah, but do y'all remember having those conversations? Who had a conversation with you about what you're supposed to do when you get pulled over?
We didn't have that conversation.
Y'all done had that conversation at the table?
We learned it outside.
You learned it when it just
learned
happened.
it outside at the corner store.
When you was being put in the binds, right?
Right, learned outside at the corner store with your partners.
Hit the ground. Hey, yeah, that's
see
when
what
you
I'm saying?
learned.
But
Like
the fact that
it was too late. Yeah.
But the
Right,
fact
it's
that
too
we're
late.
sitting here and both of you are professional men,
Yeah.
and y'all have had that experience.
Yeah.
Simply because of the
Most
color of your
definitely
skin.
had
Let's
that.
just be 100 about it.
Yes, indeed.
I don't know too many men that I know who have not experienced that.
It was
So
almost like a rite of passage back then.
See?
Almost, right.
that's what I'm saying. So it's going to continue to happen until it doesn't happen anymore. And so I want to go ahead and train up the child in the way he should go. What can I do as a mother to protect him as much as I can
I
when
agree.
he's not, in my space where I can protect him? And so that's where Dear Black Son comes from.
No, so share with our audience how they can get in contact, how they can follow, how they can interact with Dear Black Son, and how, most importantly, they can get involved.
Yes.
Because I'm sure you'll need volunteers, sponsors, that
All
type
of
of thing. So share all that information with the audience, please.
Yes. So on Instagram, if you can follow Dear DearBLKSon at Dear Black Son, and that's across everything. So DearBLKSon.org on web as well as on Facebook. Everything's Dear Black Son, not BLACK, y'all. I know, I try to change it up a little bit because again, BLK stands for Black Liberating Kings. So I'm looking for, and let me add this. I'm also getting ready to do another documentary. So that was the first piece. I'm getting ready to do another. So I'm looking for, writers, editors, all that who want to work with me on the second installation, because I want it to be something that's collaborative and a collective, because you'll see on Instagram I have a call out for photographers, videographers, all that kind of stuff, so that they can also share their stories and maybe their own video documentaries that we can share and collectively make it something that we have on the web. So
Love it.
Yeah.
Nah, you got a final question for Alexis, because I gotta go.
No. You
I gotta go
because it looked like it's fire.
Y'all can ask me, am I still single? That's
Because
all I know about
no,
that.
this is the thing, Miss Jones.
You
I
said
see.
single. It's a random question, but now
I know, but are you?
No, I wasn't gonna ask that, but no, because I see you sliding back into your comfort zone of getting behind the camera,
Yes.
orchestrating,
Yep.
producing, being a boss lady. The question I gotta ask you is: are there any plans for you to get back in front of the camera?
Oh my God.
Now I know you can't tell all your personal business. It could be heavy negotiations going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But are there any plans for your fans to be able to see you again?
Y'all let
As
me know
an
if
on-air
y'all want to see
talent.
me again as on-air talent. Right now, to be quite honest, I don't have any plans. Anything can pop off. I don't know what God has in store. I am planning to go back behind the camera, so you will see some other videos coming out. I actually am probably getting ready, if not this week, next week, share with you guys. I won my first Telly Award as a co-producer for Comcast for another documentary, or short film rather, which is called Hear Our Voices, and it's kind of focuses on
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
No doubt.
It focuses on racism in corporate America. So I'm gonna share a clip with you guys on that, but yeah, won my first award, so now I can say award-winning producer. I'm excited to say that.
Yeah.
But right now, going behind the camera, who knows? If y'all, put something out, tell the people, call Oprah up, say, hey, we want to see Alexis fly back, and maybe I can find a man next time. But I don't even know if I want it to be a dating show. It needs to be something more uplifting. That's what
I understand. Well, I want to thank you so much because your energy is something that I'm sure our audience has been able to feel through the screen, or if they're listening to just an audio version, I'm sure your words are uplifting. So thank you so much. I urge everyone, follow Miss Alexis, get involved, volunteer, videographers, editors, reach out to her. She's making it happen.
Please.
As I ask every week, because it's Thursday.
It is Thursday.
What's going on this weekend with the Texas Real Estate King?
To nothing. Listen, go to my calendar. You for enforcement. Like last time I was able to roll some things out. I ain't got that for you today. I ain't got it. But tonight we do have a Meet the Brokers event.
And
so
there it is.
Getting licensed and you are inquiring about getting a license to become a licensed realtor in the state of Texas. Brooks and Davis is going to host a Meet the Brokers event tonight. It's always special. For those of you that don't know, we're in the process of opening up 2 new locations, one on 45 on the north side and then one on the west side in the Katy area by October 1st. So we're excited about
stop
that.
fronting acting like ain't nothing popping off, boy. Stop playing these games with me.
Over here.
As always, I want to thank everyone for tuning into the Prime Real Estate Network podcast. On behalf of myself, Rick Davis, and the Texas Real Estate King, Mr. Larry W. Brooks, I want to thank our guest, Miss Alexis Fly Jones, for sitting in with us this week.
Yeah.
Until next week, if you need anything, we're only a call, text, DM, or inbox message away. Until next Thursday, everyone out there, be blessed.